Bruce, you must have something really good too.
Of course I do. It's Bruce Danielson, and I guess I'm here to entertain you too.
Well, since I painfully made everybody stay longer by not deferring this, I'm going to give you my personal perspective and my, hopefully, county commission perspective on this. First of all, I don't think anybody ever goes into and I have to tell you, I have to be full disclosure, I'm the president of a large nonprofit group. So I have 30 years of experience of going through this. Nobody goes into a plan like this with the opportunity to fail. The best thing that could ever happen is there's no need, and that's never going to happen. Their mission's pretty solid, and the growth that our county has seen over the last 6 years I've been on the county commission, and the growth of public safety related issues, there's a significant need for this. And frankly, nonprofits can do it cheaper than government can do it. That's a proven fact. Secondly, the exit strategy comments I think are frankly uninformed questions, because number one, most large donors and people who are going to be donors will ask, if this doesn't work, what are you going to do with my ownership in that project? And the response would probably be we'd end up selling the buildings to a private organization or a private person to be able to live there. Secondly, there is never a guaranteed success. I mean, there's no guaranteed successes in for-profit business or nonprofit businesses or gifts that Denny Sanford made. That is not going to happen. The other thing that I'm going to have to say this, and the people I work with may can me by the time I get home. You know, I've worked with the older adult population, and when I ask them about change, nobody really wants change. But tell me one thing that hasn't changed in our lifetimes. I just need one. I've never heard one. Everything changes. So to say that I've lived here for 100 years gives me the right to make it that way for the next 100 is not accurate. I don't agree with that. Secondly, I think there's opportunities here to qualify this a little bit for some of the concerns I've heard. Second, the first thing would be we put into our requirements that to be able to build this, they get a certificate for a floodplain construction project. And my guess is after the engineer gets done with that floodplain will go from very blue to a very small creek, because that's the history of it. Secondly, they get a percolation septic tank test. So there's no septic tank problem, no concerns about the creek being flooded. The last thing I think is a difficult one, but we can put something in there to the effect that if the state of South Dakota, through the Department of Social Services, decides to license these group homes, that they obtain a license within a certain period of time, and they maintain that license. Those are just acceptable practices in change, if you will, that will make this project work. The whole issue of, and I had to giggle and I apologize for that, of somebody getting their pickup stolen. I live in the middle of Sioux Falls. In the last year, my neighbor across the street has let's just say an older adult child who's been picked up and taken to jail 3 times. There's no guarantees, and that was a change in the neighborhood. So if you think you're going to prevent pickups from being stolen and you're going to prevent something from happening that's negative, again, tell me what hasn't changed in the last 50 years. Neighborhoods change, people change, environments change, everybody changes. And the only way we're going to solve problems is to handle some of the things that Hope Harbor is doing in a different way. I certainly applaud their guts, frankly, to come here and stand up in front of the people who don't like change to be able to give us a better alternative than what we've had in the past. Because we're building a $46 million jail next month, And it's because we can't change the judicial system. The end of my sermon.
Folks, anybody else want to entertain us?
We don't come up here to entertain you. We come up here to inform you.